Hello. If no one has told you today that anxiety is treatable, let me assure you that it is. Hi, I'm Nancy, creator of the program for anxiety called Disarm the Alarm, your 90-day blueprint to anxiety relief. Now, last time I talked about why it is so vital for you to really face reality of how anxiety impacts different areas of your life so that will spur change, lasting change. And it's really necessary, because if you downplay things and you're like, well, I wanted to do this, but I don't know, my anxiety, I guess, is so bad because I'm used to it and I've lived with it for 7 years and whatever, right? Then you're not really going to be motivated to change. And I want you to get the most out of the program that you can. After all, there are many programs and many therapists and counselors who see people for years and years. And you can spend thousands of dollars doing that and many years of time, or you can be all in for 3 months, 90 days with me. It's kind of like someone told me one time, you can buy a juicer and spend a whole bunch of money and it can get things done really fast and high quality. Or you can buy a cheap ass juicer and, it's probably going to run out. It's probably not going to be lasting. And it certainly won't do anything quick when you're talking about heavy fruits, etc. in there. So quality is really important. Okay, so you're paying a good price for this program, and that's because I have over 15 years experience working with hundreds of clients with anxiety, and I know what it takes and in what order to do it so that you can get rid of your anxiety in only 90 days. So you're also paying for that, right? You're paying for it to be done and completed in 90 days. So let's get back to that reality, okay? When you look at the reality of, anxiety affects maybe, I guess, how I feel about myself. Maybe it affects if I'm going to go for that promotion or not. Maybe it affects my relationship with my husband, or where I go or I won't go, or how controlling I am about how the house needs to be because I can't control other things, or I worry a lot and that causes me some depression. So when you look at that, it's not that I want you to go, oh, that's doomsday and now I'm depressed. Thanks a lot, Nancy. I want you to look at it, because when you realize all of these different areas are affected by your anxiety, it spurs change for you to work on it, because then you can go, wow, if it's in all those areas, then if I work on it, all of those areas could be more productive, more happy, more fruitful. There could be big change in a positive way in all those areas. And if not big positive change in those areas, at the minimum, what could happen is there is a neutralness about all of those. Okay, so let's talk about neutral. I'm going to give you a story. Before I married my second husband, of whom I'm divorced, by the way, unfortunately, it was needed. But I was celibate at that time, and I wasn't taking birth control because of that. Right? I wasn't dating and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And so I knew a couple of people that were taking this shot. I don't know if I'm supposed to say the name, so I'll just say it starts with the letter D. This blank shot. And it's birth control for 3 months in your arm. And so anyway, they, it worked really good for them. So I was like, I don't remember. I'm fearful that I'm not going to remember, I should say, to take a pill every day, because I haven't done that for a few years. So you know what? I'm just going to get this shot. So I do that. And unfortunately, I really struggled at certain times of the month with anger, frustration, just really moody. I could cry, everything I took personal. It was just really difficult. And I was gaining weight on top of that, which, if you're a woman, that really doesn't help you in any way either. So anyway, it was either at the 9 or the 12 months, because every 3 months I had to go back. Either way, one of those months, I came back and I got a different doctor that time. And she was like, oh, and she's like, I don't mean to offend you by any way, but how do you feel like you're doing on this? Because what I look at is you're consistently, every time that you come in for your shot, you are heavier. And are you having any other side effects? Because I would have never prescribed this for you. I don't prescribe this for people over 30 due to a lot of mood swings and due to weight gain and stuff like that. And I was like, oh crap. It'd be nice if somebody up and told me that before, right? And so I said, yeah, actually I am. I'm having a lot of trouble, right? And so anyway, we decided not to do it. And I remember what she said about the weight. She said, Nancy, I'm not going to tell you that the weight now is going to fly off, because when you're in your 30s, it's not necessarily easy. And now I'm in my 50s, so it's much harder. But she said, I am going to tell you this. Because we didn't give you that shot today, we have set down the wall, right? And what she meant is there was a wall of resistance. And so now I don't know how you're going to, fly through and really lose weight, but I know that you're not going to be beating your head against the wall. You're not going to be pushing the wall of resistance. You're not going to have to climb over the wall, because the wall was that shot. And now we have just lifted it. So it is open. You have now an open, decent opportunity, because you're at a neutral state to lose the weight. So I hope that helps you, because that's what it is with anxiety, right? When you lift that anxiety, even if you don't get the promotion and right away, right? At least you are in a neutral position. You're not working against your anxiety to make things happen. All right. Very good. So let's move on to, what do you do if you hit a hard spot? And what is a hard spot? Okay. A hard spot is sometimes you've had a panic attack. And sometimes people are like, oh my God, I haven't had a panic attack in a month and a half. And then all of a sudden I had one. And does this mean, Nancy, that I'm going to go back to having 3 panic attacks a day or 3 panic attacks a week like I used to? And the answer is emphatically 100% no. N-O. Okay. Now you can scare yourself into that happening. Okay. And that's why we talk about fear in the program a lot. You can make that happen, but it doesn't have to happen. Absolutely 100% no. It does not mean that. And we need to remember the old saying, right? 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. The road is not always straight, but this is the blessing. I am with you every step of the way. Every time we go off on a bunny trail, right, and we come back to center, every time we hit a hill, yay, and a valley, oh God, I am with you. Okay, that's my job, to be your best cheerleader, your best advocate. And throughout the 90 days, I'm going to teach you to be your best friend, your best cheerleader, and your best advocate. Okay, so it is expected. Don't expect a straight line. A setback may also be, if not a panic attack, maybe it's something like, wow, I was so positive. Like for a month and a half, I was so positive, and now I hit month 2 and I don't know. I'm just like negative. I mean, I don't know if I'm downplaying what I've already succeeded in for the first, month and a half. I don't know what's going on. I just kind of hit a spot where I feel like I hit that wall, and I'm telling myself, oh, you're going to be the one person that this doesn't work for. You're the exception always, right? And that sort of stuff. Whatever it is, here's 3 things that I want you to do right away. Number 1, I want you to take 3 breaths, close your eyes, set your timer on your phone for 3 to 5 minutes, and go back to your vision of health, your life vision without your anxiety present, that you are going to work on in the program. And I also have a recording on that if you want to listen to it. It's really important. We need to remind our brain where we want to go, okay, and give it a vision for a goal, because it holds on to it stronger than just thinking about it. And you can write about it too. That's also really good. Writing about that you ahead of time. And we talk about that in a portion of the program also. Okay. So go back to your vision. Number 2, you're going to talk to me. When you're in the program, you have 24 access to me through my personal email. So you can email me at 1:30 in the morning. And when I get it, I'm going to respond to you. You may ask for advice. You may ask for, tips. You may say, hey, when we meet this next session, I really need to talk about what went on. Because remember, we're not just talking about your week in these hour individual sessions in the program. We are working on anxiety. We're learning about anxiety, right? We're learning about your specific anxiety to make that blueprint so you won't have anxiety anymore. And we're working on our interventions of anxiety together. Okay, that's what we're doing. So it's not just talking about your week. We will highlight like what was your high or low for the week, that sort of thing. But if you hit a hard spot and you're like, hey, I need to spend more time, okay, I know I only have so many sessions, but I need to spend more time this week talking about what happened, I will absolutely not be upset, and I will say absolutely yes. And I can still teach you whatever you're supposed to be doing in that session. We will work it out. Or maybe you email me and you say, hey, normally we meet Tuesday at 3:30. Can we meet Monday? Because I really need to talk. And I will try to clear my schedule for you. Why? Because there's only so many people I can take in the program. And you are considered priority because this is an exclusive program. So if I have to rearrange things, I will try to rearrange things specifically for people in this program. That is true. Okay, number 2, what you do. Okay, I'm sorry, that was number 2. Number 3 is at least halfway in the program, midpoint, which would be a month and a half, you do need to find other support that is by you. So literally somebody that you can sit down that's in your town, a family member, a friend, a whatever. And if you want to know who would be a good fit, I would encourage you to listen to the recording on support. Okay, what can they do for you? What can they say, not to say? Who's a good person, who's a not good person to pick. And I give you some tips on a different recording. So again, 3 things that you can do. 1, go back to your vision. 2, let me know so I can help you. And 3, reach out to your local support. I hope that helps. And as usual, I hope that this recording gives you clarity of mind and lets you and me both hold gratitude in our heart so that we can both have a blissful day. Thanks so much for listening.